Welcome to my online piano studio. Due to the unprecedented circumstances of the COVID-19 global pandemic, life as we know it has changed. We have been encouraged by our leaders to practice social distancing. And for those who live with high-risk individuals, such as my family, we are living in a quarantined situation. But as you are well aware, I have decided to transition my in-home teaching to completely online. It's understandable if you aren't sure about this. You might be wondering things like, will this really be like regular piano lessons? Is it even possible that this can be good as in-home piano lessons? Why should we continue lessons when the economy, my job, or other things are so uncertain? Doesn't this just mainly benefit the teacher financially? And what should I expect at the first piano lesson? These are all valid questions. So here are a few answers and things to consider. First, will remote lessons be like regular piano lessons? When it comes to learning new music and receiving guidance on how to practice, it will definitely be similar. But the ways in which the teacher will make these things happen may look different. Your child will continue to polish current pieces and learn new music just like before. But I will have to adapt how I teach concepts and introduce new materials. It may be stressful at the beginning, but think about it. What better way of managing stressful circumstances than to manage it through making music? So not only is it helpful to continue lessons, but it's part of becoming and staying healthy during this difficult time. It's so important for students to have an artistic and expressive outlet during these uncertain times too. Is it possible that online piano lessons can be as good as in-person piano lessons? Well, judging by the number of teachers and platforms that taught online piano lessons before this crisis, the answer is yes. Now, that's not to say that in-person lessons don't have advantages, because they do. But there is no reason to believe that online lessons can't be as effective as in-person lessons. As a matter of fact, remote and online piano lessons have some advantages. Online lessons will continue to allow me to observe your in-home learning environment, just as though I were there. In some ways, they can even be better. The online piano lesson requires that I interact differently with your child. Since I cannot point to the page, I will often find myself asking more questions and lecturing less, allowing the student to play more, which is always a good thing since it engages the student. Online lessons can actually improve a student's level of responsibility and thus increase their progress since I will not be able to write in their book. However, I will be creating a virtual assignment sheet which can easily be accessed through Tanar. Students will be required to make notes in their own books and music. Though it does take more time, this will help the student remember their assignment better and practice more effectively from week to week. Why should we continue lessons when everything is so uncertain right now? It's a great and truly fair question. When times are uncertain, routine is extremely helpful in calming our anxieties. This is especially true for children. Routine can be one of the most powerful things in regulating our anxieties, and your child has probably been taking lessons long enough that the regular routine of weekly lessons and daily practice will be a tool in helping them manage their uncertainty. In addition to the weekly lesson with me, daily practice is also a routine that helps children and adults. It occupies their minds and gives them something for which they can set goals and see improvement. Plus, children need more than just parents to assure them that things are going to be okay. As their piano teacher, I will be one of the most consistent people in your child's life. Continuing lessons is like giving the gift of another adult that will not only help assure them that it's going to be okay, but that will help them use music as therapy in this troubled world. Well, doesn't this just mainly benefit the teacher financially? Continuing in lessons will of course help me continue to make a living. I depend on this income, and you continuing to take lessons will definitely help me. But I hope that you can see from the above answers that this is in no way just about the teacher making a living. I am making this switch to keep you safe, to keep myself and my family safe, and to make sure that you are continuing to learn how to play music beautifully. There is absolutely no reason why online piano lessons will not continue to help your child make progress. And considering that thousands of teachers around the world are now giving lessons online, many of which were doing this long before this global pandemic, this is a very normal course of action that should in no way impede the progress of your student. Well, now that you have been convinced that online lessons are a very good idea, you may have the following question. What should I expect at the first remote or online lesson? Be ready to be flexible. Things won't go perfectly at the first lesson for both you and I, but we will need to adapt, and in a few weeks, you'll adjust to the new normal. Here are a few tips for the first lesson. Be ready to spend a bit of time making sure that the camera or device is placed just the right way to help me see the student's hands and their face, not to mention the piano. It's most helpful if you can, as a parent, be in the room for at least the first 10 minutes of the lesson to help position the camera. Do all you can to make the room quiet. It's amazing what the microphone or a phone will pick up, or a device. So if you have other children running through the room or another conversation going on, the device can pick that up even if it's happening in another room. This can be a big distraction for your students. Be flexible in the first lesson and in the first few minutes of each lesson. There are always adjustments that have to be made, so flexibility is key. Make sure all the books, assignment book, and a pencil are at the piano. They may also need some staff paper if necessary, and their flashcards. The student will need to make marks in their own notebook and write things down. So giving them what they need to do is very important. If you have a particularly young child or child that is easily distracted, it's especially helpful if you can be present during the entire lesson. Remember, online piano lessons, even with the best technology and platforms, will have a slight delay. There will be some adjusting to make on my end. However, your sound and picture should be perfect because of the huge investment I have made in the transition of this format. Well, I hope this video helps you understand not only how online lessons can work for your child, but also how they can actually help the student and teacher continue to work together to progress in music despite not being together in person. So, let's make music together. Thanks for listening.